Hello, and welcome to AP Taylor Swift,
the podcast for Swifties who love to overanalyze lyrics. We're your hosts.
I'm Jen.
I'm Jody.
and I'm Monty.
And we're your unofficial professors of Taylor Swift.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of AP Taylor Swift. This week, we are doing a deep dive on Our Song. This is a continuation of last week's episode on alliteration. So if you haven't listened to that one, they're all fun ones. I don't know why we bother saying that was a fun one. They're all fun. Go back, listen to what we had to say about the alliteration in Our Song, as well as a few of Taylor's other songs. Then come back here. Before we dive into the song, Jen, you want to remind us how we do a deep dive?
Yeah, so we will think about who's the speaker, who's the I, who are they speaking to, so who's the you or the audience or however she likes to do it. I actually don't know if there's a you in this song. Anyways, we'll find out in the next however many minutes we take for this deep dive. And then we also think about the purpose. So what's the overall purpose of the song? And we'll come back at the end to say what we each think the purpose is.
There is a you.
There is
when
a
you
you.
talk real slow.
Oh, yeah.
The way our song
maybe
is the
Mama
way
does
you
it.
laugh.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but no, it's fair. I was just, as I was going through the first few lines, are like in the front seat of his car. And I was like, does she say you or does she say his, or are they different people?
we'll find out.
Good luck to us for getting through this without singing.
No, can't
it's-
do it.
Didn't we already just sing just now?
I think I
We
just
did.
did. Yeah. I think I was just saying the words, but I think you can't even say the words without it sounding like
Well, just to get the logistics out of the way, this was one of Taylor Swift's singles from her debut self-titled album. It was a solo Taylor Swift song. She was the only writer, and it came out in 2006. So this is a baby Taylor song. This is an OG, one of the firsts. And the song that I don't know if this is a lot to discuss, but just something that I thought was interesting. When she did the original Eras tour film for the theaters, this was the guitar surprise song she chose to include for the theatrical release.
Which I think makes sense given there wasn't a debut
Yeah.
set in
Agreed.
the Eras tour. The film, when you're capturing it, really needed some debut in there. So this was a good choice.
And it's a fun guitar song. I mean, it's
It
a
is.
bop. It's a
Yes.
fun, good, bouncy song. It works well. I mean, all of her songs are fun pared down, but this is a very singer-songwriter country style
Yeah, it's
song.
great
So it
acoustic.
works really well with a guitar, just her and a guitar singing it. It was fun to hear it, in my opinion, as an OG fan, hear her adult voice singing it, because I had never heard that before. So,
R.I.P. debut Taylor's version, whenever we may or may not get that one. And we also, it's worth noting, talk about this song a little bit more for our after school paid subscribers. We're doing a series deep diving, going album by album, and we have done one on debut. So if you'd like to hear more about this song within the context of Taylor Swift's debut album, you can become a paid subscriber on Substack, aptaylorswift.substack.com/subscribe. Let's start with the title. We don't really know what that means.
We briefly talked about this in last week's episodes, but there's two really key things about this song that stand out. One, it's about a song, and part of the reason we brought it up on the alliteration episode was because it has a real musical quality to it. Even as you're reading the lyrics, you can really feel the rhythm. She uses specific devices for that. And so there's something about the song being a song and feeling like a song and sounding like a song.
There's
And
something
then-
about the song being a song.
Yeah, like sometimes
yeah.
sometimes her songs feel like poetry and not songs. I don't know. Or
the
sometimes they feel like a
alliteration
story.
makes it musical.
This one is like a musical song. And then there's the fact that there's like this kind of recursive property here where we start talking about a song, and then that song is the song that she's talking about,
Yeah.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Inception.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say like
Intertextuality,
self-referential, but it's
self-referential.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Inception's
it's
really
not?
funny to me.
What if it's not the same song? What if we get through it and we're like, whoa, she's actually referring to like
To a different song.
Billy
No,
Joel?
I'm pretty sure
like-
Christopher Nolan heard this song and he was like, I have
He
an
was like,
idea for a
"This is
movie."
my idea.
Can you imagine?
I
Oh
love
my
it.
gosh, that's so funny.
Okay, so Our song is the title. It's about a song, but we don't know more yet. Let's get
their
into the
song.
lyrics. It's their song. Who is our? We'll find out. Jen, you want to read the first verse for us?
I was riding shotgun with my hair undone in the front seat of his car. He's got one hand feel on the steering wheel, the other on my heart. It was really hard to read heart and not do like the
heart.
Yeah. I look around, turn the radio down. He says, baby, is something wrong? I say nothing. I was just thinking how we don't have a song. And he says.
Amazing. God, it's such a visual. She's really, literally, you could paint the picture.
Yeah.
She's telling you exactly what this scene is. She is riding shotgun. Her hair is undone. Saying you're riding shotgun in the front seat of his car is duplicative because shotgun means you are sitting in the front seat, the front passenger seat of the car.
But passenger is the thing that's clarified. Like she could be the one driving.
But what you're riding shotgun means you're in the front passenger seat.
Well, yes. Shotgun refers to front.
Yeah.
I guess it's more that it was like his car is I think the
that's
key
fair.
part of that and just kind of filling it out. I also think it's so cool. Some of this is contextual, but we know this was a country album. We know that there's guitar music. In theory, this could be someone in the middle of New York City on a very stressful like road trip with their partner. But you immediately imagine, to me, a pickup truck, the window down, a southern summer day, hair blowing in the wind. Like you immediately create this image that is aligned, I think, with the genre of
I think some of that's the banjo.
Yes.
Because this song starts with a banjo. And so it immediately puts you in a location. And then you're like filling it slowly as she's singing the lyrics, filling out the details of what's in that scene.
I always imagined a convertible.
Ooh.
For some reason, instead of a pickup truck.
I always thought of some sort of truck with the windows down.
Yeah, I think because of her hair undone, for some reason I just assumed it was like wind blowing. But now that I'm looking at the lyrics, it doesn't actually say there was wind blowing.
I love that all it takes is the detail of the hair undone in the front seat of his car, and each of us come in with a different visual of what that means to us and what that evokes.
Yeah.
Well, and also because for me, I was listening to the song with this on the CD in like usually my car when I was a kid, and I say kid, a teenager, so kinda. And the first few songs, she does talk about
the pickup
in
truck.
Tim McGraw, there's a truck.
Yes.
And in Picture to Burn, there's a truck. So for me, by the time I got to our song, I had already been hearing a truck.
I'm in a truck.
So
you're like,
yeah, I had been like primed for that image.
So yeah, that's a good point. I definitely heard the song on the radio and like also in a car on my way to school every morning, but I feel like not always in the order of the album. And I kind of visualized the kind of car that I was in, except I wasn't in a convertible. So that part is just because of the hair. But I had
never mind.
Like it was a sedan.
Aspirational.
Coupe,
Aspirational.
And then I think I'd also seen the You Belong With Me video maybe. And I think she's in a convertible in that video. So I don't know. Like maybe it is like influenced by the time and exposure
Inception.
to Taylor Swift because it's so early at this point.
To me, the key message of this story is that she is in the front seat of his car and we're having a carefree energy. The hair being undone is making this feel romantic and carefree and not super put together, which again, this is coming after Picture to Burn on the album.
Yeah.
Again, this is just, which is very different. Like he never let me drive his truck, which she's not driving here, but there was still like cars were like a thing on this
and shotgun
album.
was a thing. You didn't yell like shotgun
in high
do
school.
Kids do that?
Absolutely.
Do kids do that these days?
But
I
the
don't know.
context and the nature of the relationship we get in the next like 3 lines. He's got a one hand feel on the steering wheel, the other on my heart. That is amazing.
Line.
The way that she's just so quickly able to say he's got one hand in control driving and the other metaphorically is on me and my heart, and we are in love.
I mean, maybe
I do think I've seen people with this song like literally will be like someone just touching a wheel with the steering wheel with one hand and the other just like on top of their heart.
10 and 2 guys. Hands at 10 and 2, gotta be safe. That's why it's a metaphor. Taylor Swift would want you to be safe. She doesn't mention their seatbelt. They're wearing their seatbelts, but they are indeed wearing their seatbelts.
They are.
Be safe.
Because it's click it or ticket. Yeah. Okay. I look around, turn the radio down. I look around is funny. I mean, so much of this is just the rhyming nature.
The
like
rhyme,
she's
yeah,
clearly
she needed a
she's playing with
rhyme.
the rhyme, she's playing with the rhythm, so she's throwing in some words that are redundant, like front seat or look around. I don't think you need to like look around to be like, we don't have a song.
Where is it? Well, it's kind of again metaphorical.
Yeah.
Look around, right? I think we've got the metaphor of he's got his hands on my heart. The metaphor of I'm looking around to try and find our song.
I read that as looking around, as in we just spent 5 minutes talking about the picture painted here of this is carefree, this is romantic, he's in charge, but he's being thoughtful of her. So I interpreted look around as like taking in that moment and being like, this is going really well. Like this is a great moment. And then being like, oh my gosh, we don't have anything to
commemorate or,
memorialize
like, yeah.
this.
Yeah, he says baby is, and I love baby is something wrong. Also, baby. So we've got this term of endearment, which now in the context of her discography with the song Honey, I think potential, like, I don't know, that's what that makes me think of, that we have
I
here.
also think of her documentary where she's like, "Aw, baby."
Yeah.
She says it a
Term of
lot in the
endearment, she's cared for. Is something wrong? The fact that all she had to do was turn the radio down, and he's like, wait, is something wrong? Is that sweet, or is that like, oh my God?
I think it's sweet.
I think it's meant to be sweet.
Yeah, it's meant to be sweet.
I think it's a little icky, but
The
Why do
baby
you
or
think it's
the is
icky?
something wrong?
just all of it.
I mean, if I was
Shall we unpack that, Monsi? Say more.
No.
I was gonna say, if I was in the passenger seat, we don't have a car anymore, but if we were driving somewhere with music blasting and I just suddenly turn it down, Chris doesn't call me baby, but he'd be like, what's up? Like, is something going on?
What's up feels like you're talking to an equal in life. Baby, is something wrong? It makes it feel like
mean,
you're
that's
talking to a
high school.
child.
That just feels
But-
high school
but
to me.
We can also say that, like, I think in previous songs also she talks about like an age gap, like she's not driving, the boyfriend's driving, maybe
I
there's
love
a
where
little bit of
Monsi
an
goes
age
with these
difference.
songs.
I do feel like there's a little bit of a power dynamic, but what do I know?
Monty's like, romance is stupid and high school romance is dead. Anyways, I did marry my high school sweetheart and we were very happy together. But for everyone else, you guys are idiots.
She's the one person where these songs could be relatable, and yet
It's fine. It's fine. I think it's, like I said, it's meant to be sweet for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it feels very high school, early relationship,
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah, I think the assumption that something's wrong, nothing could be wrong. You could just be like,
I
I
don't
just thought
think-
of something and I wanted to tell you the story, but the radio was too loud.
I've heard the rest of the song, so I know this man is very sweet. So I think it's meant to be sweet, and we will leave it at that.
And she says nothing. I was just thinking how we don't have a song. Like, she's like, to your point, Jen, of like, no, this thing just came into my head. I was just thinking that we don't have a song. Because we're listening to the radio and here's a song. It's not our song. What is our song?
And he says,
See, we're going to sing this whole time.
I can read the chorus.
Please.
Our song is the slamming screen door, sneaking out late, tapping on your window. When we're on the phone and you talk real slow, because it's late and your mama don't know. Our song is the way you laugh. The first date, man, I didn't kiss her and I should have. And when I got home, for I said amen, asking God if he could play it again.
I do not for 1 second believe that he actually said that. I just want to be clear. There's no way.
Monty is in her hating era today.
A high school boy would never.
A high school boy would never.
I love
And
it.
if he did, then why aren't you married to that man yet, Taylor?
Not everybody marries their high school sweetheart, Monsi.
I'm just
We
saying.
can't all be so
God.
lucky.
But it's good to dream.
Didn't have one.
Okay. Yeah, he says this beautiful, romantic, adorable answer. And it's so poetic. Like she was dating a Walt Whitman of the day.
Have you never met like a lovesick high school boy?
I have, actually. He still didn't say that.
There's a lot of metaphor in this song, Monty.
Yes.
So metaphor,
Yeah, a metaphor.
What he meant
or
to say
poetic
was
license.
what he meant to say, what he was thinking was
Well, I think this is definitely an example of, I think Taylor has said at some point, I've spent my life writing songs about what I wanted men to do, like
Yeah.
what I wished they would do. And then she said that within the context of her engagement, that like I've written all these songs about the romantic gestures that I wish men would make or that they could make, and here I got my romantic gesture. So I see this as the romantic gesture teenage Taylor Swift wishes this boy could say. And so she wrote the story for him. So our song is the slamming screen door. I, again, love that visual. I can hear the slam of a screen door in my head and sneaking out late, tapping on your window. So he's telling the story of what it sounds like to him for them to be together. That she's got to slam the door. He's got to slam the door behind him, tap on the window, or the times when they're on the phone late. I don't understand why you talk real slow and not real low.
Yes. Okay.
Do you have an answer?
Agreed. And I've been thinking about this, knowing that we were going to deep dive this song at some point.
Please, because I was like, talking slow, I get that's very Southern, but I don't think that they're self-referential that they're talking slow. Like, I'll say you're talking slow.
Yeah, because I have always thought, like, why isn't low? And I think it might be, like, instead of slow as in, like, the words are super slow. I know she sings them slow, but I think that's more, again, poetic license. But if you're on the phone with someone and you're listening for if a parent is walking by, that you're pausing a lot because you're trying to not talk while someone could be listening. So it's not necessarily that they're like elongating each word, but it's like, yeah, and then okay, and then okay, you know, like those pauses.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure you're not going to get caught.
And I was waiting by the locker.
I was like, what? Are you trying to say something? You're talking real slow.
Experimenting in real time. I'm like, what would that sound like? But yeah,
that whole conversation would just be me going, what? What? I can't hear you.
Oh, man. I mean, I do feel for kids today. I do have a lot of memories of getting the cordless phone, going to my room and talking to friends on the phone, and then like the group call when you can get multiple people on, and you know, the precursor to Zoom.
I like the first 2 years of my relationship were just phone conversations.
Yeah, and so that's like a really memorable time, and these memories of trying to sneak out to be together, there's a lot of sneaking around, sneaking out to be together, sneaking around, being on the phone late at night because it's late and your mama don't know.
Specifically talking about sounds, right? Because we're talking about a song and what it's made of. Slamming screen door makes sense. Hear that. Tapping on your window makes sense. Sneaking out late is a silent thing. It doesn't have like a noise associated with it, but I think we love the visual of like the tiptoeing. It's almost like there is sound in the absence of the sound.
Interesting.
Because you're doing something that is a quiet action, and yet in the silence, to quote another song, you can hear it in the silence. And I think there's something nice there that she's got actual sounds, but she also has things that are not necessarily sounds. And then when we're on the phone, you talk real slow. To Jen's point, maybe it has pauses. Maybe it's like hushed, dragged out conversations. Yeah, it's more of a feeling. And I like the fact that she includes the silences in there because she did not have to. She could have just picked sounds.
That's an interesting interpretation of it, because I kind of saw both sneaking out late and it's late and your mama don't know. It's just contextualizing the other sounds that we do hear. But I think I like the way that you've framed it, that even the silences have a purpose in the song.
Yeah, because she could have just picked a bunch of noises.
Right.
And I think for additional context, though, if she wrote these kinds of lyrics now, I mean, I think of Reputation. We have so many, you know, Our Secret Moments in a Crowded Room, that are very sensual, but knowing that her age and that later in this chorus, she does make a reference to praying and to God, it comes across very innocent. Like, yes, they're sneaking around, but it's just kind of playful, innocent high school fun. It doesn't feel like the intense sensuality of Reputation sneaking around.
Okay, also the joy of being able to just like sneak down the street to somebody who's like in your neighborhood or like walking distance or something. I don't know. There's something very neighborhoody, high schooly feel about that, you know? It's not like you're driving major distances. I mean, we know he has a car, but this idea of sneaking out late and just tapping on the window. I don't know. To me, it just feels more like the neighborhood kind of vibes.
Yeah. The early aughts, you're talking on the phone real slow. That's probably not your cell phone that you're talking on.
Yeah, you're
or
not
if it
texting.
is-
You could just text,
Yeah.
but you couldn't. So it'd be T9 and it would take too long.
If you are using your cell phone, it's probably after 8 o'clock when minutes are free.
Minutes are
because you have to
free,
keep an
unlimited
eye
talk,
on that.
text, call, baby.
Like this,
Wow.
we didn't do this for our cultural or new historicism, but like this
But we
song
could.
does. It doesn't outright call it out, but there's so much about the song that like just wouldn't be the same for a high schooler today.
No, they'd be
Oh,
like,
man.
the sound of Snapchat and the sound of the
I had 200 texts a day,
a day.
a month, maybe a
I was
month.
gonna say, yeah.
I was like, I
month.
don't think that was a day.
We were on the 200 text plan.
You had a budget at a certain point. for
God, I
sure.
remember like within the last 10 years having to go on the family group chat and be like, stop using all the data.
Yeah.
You used all the data. Stop.
We still check it just for I still have my whole family on my plan, and we still check it every now and then to like shame people, be like, who's been talking the most on the phone? It's usually my mom.
Okay. Now we've got more sounds. Our song is The Way You Laugh. So this is, again, his perspective. So he likes her laugh. The first date, quote, man, I didn't kiss her and I should have. So that's probably something he said because we're talking about sounds, but it's also him verbalizing something that he probably or maybe hasn't said to her, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's cute. I like that he likes our song is The Way You Laugh. Yeah, I don't know any high school boy who would have said this, but what a very sweet and romantic thing, I think, even as an adult, to be like, the way you laugh is like how I audibly through my ears. It's the sound of our relationship. It's
Yeah.
the sound that I think of when I think of us, and that's very sweet.
Hilarious. This is the one thing that my husband did say.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
There's reasons for the success, guys.
See, Taylor Swift dreamed it and you lived it.
No, I did not. He would never say this entire thing.
You got
but
one line of this. Hey,
I got one
hey,
line. Yeah, he liked my
The
laugh.
bar is low for teenage boys, so he cleared it. And when I got home, before I said amen, asking
Good
God
godly
if he
boy.
could play it again.
Yes, we have a righteous,
Country Taylor.
God-loving boy.
God-loving, God-fearing,
God-loving,
says his
I think.
prayers before he
I don't
goes to
sense
bed.
fear. Yeah. It feels like he has a good relationship with God. God is a buddy. That's the sense I get.
Asking God if he could play it again. Like, I want to hear all this song again. I
Yeah.
want to experience all of these things again, meaning I want to be with you again.
This is another of the time moment. This is the iPod era of our lives when we had this replay and like Walkman tape player iPod era where you would repeat songs and play again. Like, yes, you can play songs on loop on Spotify today, but there's something about this like replay concept. I think there's a lot of songs in this era about replaying things. There's a Zendaya song. There's a
Is it Sean Kingston? I know
it
the
Sean
one you're
Kingston?
thinking
Yeah, I was thinking,
On the
is it-
replay.
or
Rihanna.
Iyaz. It's by Iyaz.
There is
And
a
yeah,
Sean
Ponder
Kingston
Replay.
one too, I think.
Is it Iyaz and Sean Kingston?
Oh, might be.
Zendaya's not this era. Zendaya was like 5 years old when this song came out.
No. Zendaya was just like 2 years later.
No.
Shawty's Like a Melody is Iyaz, yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of songs about. Oh, hold on. Now I'm gonna look up, when did Zendaya's song come out?
2016.
Replay by- Yeah. No, 2013.
Oh.
2013.
All right. That's
yeah.
still a good 7 years later.
Is it?
That's like a whole other era.
Yeah, this song came out in 2006. The thing, those songs are also great songs, but the thing it also makes me think of is the era of radio and radio requests, which we know she
Yeah.
used for her marketing. And to
Play it
me,
again,
that's
yeah.
just a fun metaphor of God is the DJ of, like, the God's the
That's a
DJ here.
different
That
song.
That is
but-
where I was getting. It's this idea of requesting a replay, or like the DJing time of our era where you had to ask for something to be replayed or consciously do that.
Yeah. I love it. Okay. So now we have...
I want a song called God is a DJ. Like,
Isn't there one?
I don't know.
I think there is one.
Probably.
Are you looking
I
at it?
will look it up while you read the next verse. I'll have
Okay.
an answer for you by the end.
I was walking up the front porch steps after everything that day had gone all wrong and been trampled on and got lost and thrown away. Got to the hallway, well on my way to my love in bed. I almost didn't notice all the roses and the note that said.
Yes, God is a DJ is a song by Pink that it looks like it was written for the Mean Girls movie, which came out in 2004.
Wow. Okay, well, that confirms the theme of the era.
Anyway, so we've gone from I was riding shotgun to I was walking. So we went from riding to now we're walking. Now she's by herself, coming home, walking up the front porch steps.
Is it
That's
home? Oh yeah, got to the
yeah,
hall
because she's going back to her bed.
Yeah,
She's going to her bed. But the idea of a front porch, very country, very southern.
Yeah, for sure.
But here she's saying everything that day had gone wrong. It's been trampled on, lost, and thrown away. So she's had a terrible day. And now it gets a little less, I'm like, is this high school? Got to the hallway, well, on my way to my love in bed. Does she love? Almost didn't notice all the roses. And the note that said,
love in bed is one of the most relatable things she's ever said. Do you know what is the most loving thing to me in my life?
going to sleep. It's my favorite. I get into bed regularly and I say, this is the best part of my day.
Yep.
Okay. But that's not the problem. That's not the problem I have. The problem I have for a high schooler are the roses on the way to her bed.
Yeah, I guess it depends what year you're at in school. This guy's driving, so he's a junior/senior maybe, which probably means he can afford roses. But wow, that is not the kind of roses on the bed that I was imagining.
Well, this is what I imagine. American Beauty.
Yeah, I wasn't imagining that either. I mean, I grew up very, fairly conservative Christian, had a high school boyfriend. We were not doing any of the things that conservative Christian girls should not be doing. And he
just
definitely,
in case anyone's listening, she's not been doing. She didn't do anything.
And my dad listens. Dad, don't worry. And then didn't notice all the roses and the note that said so got to the hallway on my way to my love in bed. So on the way, she almost didn't notice. So to me, just geographically in this, it's not on the bed. It's like on the way.
Okay, that's better.
So it could be that
this is
it
where
was
close reading is very helpful.
That got to the hallway on my way to my loving bed. I almost didn't notice. So on the way, got to the hallway. It could be that it's just in the living room that
Mama Swift's not letting this boy in her teenage daughter's bedroom.
I mean, my parents really liked my high school boyfriend. If I had a bad day and he was like, hey, can I come set up some roses and a nice note or something for Jen in the living room so she sees it as soon as she gets home, 100% they would have done that.
Location is important here.
But and you could have missed it. You got to the hallway on your way to bed to me, it's I was on my way to my bed to just lay down and just stare into the abyss. And then I'm in the hallway and then pause and back up a few steps. And I'm like, wait a second, there's all these roses.
Very astute. I think she would have definitely not missed it if it was on her bed.
Yeah,
she would have definitely noticed.
We do a deep dive because going back to Muncie, you were like, oh, I always pictured this in a convertible. To me, I always pictured rose petals on the way to her loving bed. And
rose petals.
Just hey, this is the vision American Beauty. This is the vision I had in my head of this very romantic rose petals towards the bed, which is a very different symbol and meaning than bringing someone some flowers and a note when they've had a bad day, which is much more appropriate for high school.
Yes.
So that is why we
and
do
very sweet. Also and very sweet. Also believable. High school boys could do that. I believe.
Yeah, because they're not going to know what other flowers to get. They're like, I should get roses because that's only know the flower you get.
And if we even just the phrase well on my way to my love in bed, it does bounce, but you can also say oh, I was well on my way to crashing on my bed after a bad day. Like, it could be read that way as well.
Right.
I was like, got to the hallway, well on my way to my bed. I
There's a
almost
comma.
didn't notice.
I have a comma after well, but
Oh, I don't. Interesting.
there's a comma after dearest. Anyway.
But yeah, like maybe in the front hallway there was a bouquet of roses with a little note tucked in, and she just missed it.
Okay. Love it. This guy's a keeper. Real 10 out
And
of
the
10
note
dude.
that said, and the note is
Our song.
our song. Yeah.
Slamming
so
screen
it's the same-
doors, sneaking out
Yeah.
late.
And I believe it is all the same, this chorus.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
The song is the same. The song doesn't change. So that
The
tracks.
song doesn't change. Well, it changes a little in the third chorus.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then we get a bridge. We get a very short bridge.
A very dramatic bridge when she sings it. Now that I'm thinking about the lyrics and the sound.
And very hyperbolic of, I've heard every album, listened to the radio, waited for something to come along that was as good as our song. You have not heard every album, Taylor. I'm just gonna say it.
I think you should challenge her to prove that by 2006 she had heard every album. But she certainly listened to the radio. And here we have the radio again being brought up twice in this song.
I'm curious about how long she really waited for something to come along. I just don't feel like it's very long.
I think I mean, it is obviously hyperbolic. The idea is that, like, she's like, I listen to a lot of music, and as good as music is, nothing sounds as good to me as the sounds of our relationship. Like, that's obviously the meaning here, but it's fun to poke fun at it.
Also, I think with the context of the fact that she herself is a singer-songwriter who is singing the song, like,
who is writing their song,
there's something there to, like, there is nothing as good as out there. I'm gonna write it myself.
I also like a completely
we'll
different take on this of being like, this is not a romance song. This is her being like, I'm the best songwriter to ever live.
Yes, actually. This is the first bout of confidence that we feel.
Yeah. Her debut album, she's like, nothing's as good as the song that I write.
Well, we talked about father figure last week, so it's very funny to make this bit and then compare it to the father figure. This love is pure profit. That at like 14, Taylor was like, "Oh,
this
you
love
love me
is pure profit."
Which, like, I feel like if you have any kind of a hobby or a partial talent, you tend to think this way. Like, when I was sending out thank you cards for my wedding, I was like, there is not a single thank you card out there that's going to be as good as something that I just hand draw myself. And so I made my thank you card.
We have very different levels of confidence in our hobbies.
And I did the same thing with my gender reveal. I did, like, I hand drew, and like with my daughter's, like, I feel like if you have a talent, sometimes you're like, I could do this better. Whether that's
Maybe
true
I just
or
don't
not,
have a talent.
it doesn't matter.
I think
have a
often there's
talent,
nothing
Jen,
as
I
good as
believe.
the way I want something to be. I don't know if I can execute it the way I want it to be.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
your
here's
vision
the
is
thing that I
already
want. My vision. Nothing will be as good as my vision.
Right.
Can I execute my vision?
That's because your talent is being a visionary, Jody.
Thank you. Oh.
I think there's something there too. Like, there's always these things where you're like, I would just rather do this myself than the professionals that exist. And I think I'm hearing a little bit of that here of like, yeah.
I'm really trying to think of one thing I feel that way about, and the only thing I got is no one pets my cat like I do, but that's also because my cat won't let anyone pet him. So it's probably the most confident thing in my life. This is a great thing for therapy. I should take notes and maybe journal after this, because I was like, wow, I don't feel that way about anything. And I think that's a Jennifer problem.
We're going to find it. We're going to figure out
We're going to find it for you. All right. So then nothing is as good as our song. And now we have the chorus one last time, but it changes a little bit because now it's her perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's all the same.
It is, except now our song is a slamming screen doors, like sneaking out late, tapping on his window. So now she's the one kind of taking the action.
Yes.
When we're on the phone and he talks real slow because it's late and his mama don't know. Our song is the way he laughs. The first date, man, I didn't kiss him and I should have. And when I got home before I said amen, asking God if he could play it again. So
I have a feeling this is the real version of the song, not what he said earlier.
I just want to clarify too, when I said that it's all the same, I just mean that it's interesting that they flipped roles.
They feel the
but
same. They
but
feel the
it's-
same way about each other.
Yeah, they did the same actions.
Yes,
that this
the
is
same
a very
actions.
it could have been that when she switches that some of the actions change of like, here are the things I did on my side, and it's like, no, we both regretted not kissing after our first
Right.
date.
Or we both love
Or because his
sound
version
of the other
was really
person's
her
laugh.
version, and his version was never a version.
Look
We
at this
both pray
cynical
before bed every night.
Look at
Yeah,
this
Monty.
cynic. Monty, who doesn't believe in high school romance.
I think this is one of those reverse mansplaining experiences where he said something and she's like, what you meant was.
See, that's spoken like a true married woman.
She's like, I think what you meant was our song is. And then she writes it down.
And he's like, yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Marital interpretation is a real skill, and it's a thing that does happen all the time.
Secret to success.
Where
So she did
your
it
husband
at
says
14.
something and you're like, turning to the group. So what he means is but the best thing about being married for a long time is when you do that, your partner's just like, that is what I meant. Yes,
that is what I meant. Yes, thank you. and then like also the repercussions of you being frustrated. Like, why can't you just communicate properly? Why do I have to translate?
I love that we turned a high school love song into like, this is like the marriage interpreter.
Well, we can move on, but I just also want everyone to know the pain of my life, that my best friend is a guy who I love dearly, and also my husband is a man who I also love dearly. But when the three of us hang out, I am often the middleman interpreter. Well, one of them says something and then it's silence, and I have to turn to the other one and be like, this is what he's trying to say. Then they respond. I'm like, okay, then this is what he says. Like, it happens more than you'd think.
Okay, so the chorus is basically the same. So I do agree with Jen that this is worth noticing because sometimes she does change the chorus after the bridge.
Yeah.
And here, very notably, it does not change. But what does change is that we realize that it's really her song, not his song. And
well, that's validated by the end of the song when we kind of go back to the beginning.
Exactly.
I was riding shotgun with my hair undone in the front seat of his car. I grabbed a pen and an old napkin and I wrote down our song.
Exactly.
So she is the writer of the song, which we knew.
And it's a solo Taylor song. So I think there is something fun about this, that this was a solo Taylor song. Like, is this a perfectly historically accurate song? I don't know. I don't really care. But I do love the self-insertion of that. Like, oh, I wrote this song. And then the way literally the way I'm reading the lyrics, it has like the end of it and it's like source, songwriter, Taylor Swift. Like, it's really fun to be like, yeah, she may have just sat down and written this song.
We saw this in Tim McGraw on the same album. We see it in All Too Well extended 10-minute version video where she's the writer that's telling the story about the thing. You know, she plays with this idea a lot. And I think a lot of great artists do, where they're like, I am the person writing the story. She didn't come up with it. She's not the first to do it. A lot of people do this, but it is really nice that so early in her career, she was really just owning this role and this talent and putting it down, you know? And the writing on the old napkin thing is like such a cliche about the writer too. I think it's just like grab whatever's there and just quickly jot down.
It's also a
and it becomes a
cliche of the visionary, of the, you know, you hear of a lot of business ideas that were just jotted down on the back of a napkin. The whole idea of like back of
J.K.
back
Rowling
of the
wrote Harry
envelope
Potter
math
on a napkin.
If I hear the phrase back of the napkin math one more time at my job, I do think I might quit on the spot. And this is a warning to any of my coworkers who listen to this podcast. Anyways,
this is a back of the napkin song, not back of the napkin math.
Great. She's not making entire company goals based on back of the napkin math.
She's inserted herself into the league of great napkin writers.
My favorite napkin writer is Bartlett for President, Bartlett for America, that they wrote on the back of the napkin in The West Wing. And then
Joe Rowling wrote down, boy loses parents, Voldemort or something about Harry Potter. It was like a one-line thing, and then that turned into the Harry Potter series. So
Harry Potter.
I think, joining
great things come from the back of a napkin.
Shoulders of giants.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, not all. Not all napkins should be saved.
The other completely out of left field reference that this makes me think of is Dante's Inferno, because
is
he writes
also on the
himself
back of the
into
bracket.
it. And it does a very funny thing, the Inferno, of being like, here are these Peter and these great historical Christian figures. And then also the guy down the street who I hate, he's burning in hell. So that's nice
I
for me to
loved
know, I
that.
guess.
I need to
And
reread Dante's Inferno. I remember really
I was
enjoying
just
it.
thinking that. I was like, I really love Dante's Inferno.
I really
feel like
enjoyed
that could
it.
be our next
That's our next one.
literature one.
We should do it.
We're gonna get
I'm
2
so
listeners for
down.
that. I wonder if more or fewer people listened to that one than did the Canterbury Tales.
Great book.
The Canterbury Tales was my gift to myself. I knew it wouldn't be popular, but I needed to do it.
I know, but I really enjoy Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
happily do that.
Okay.
But I say that because this song has those elements of some very big exaggerated metaphors and some very like potentially real to her. It is a mix where it's like I don't know how much of this is actual autobiographical and how much of this is kind of fantasy or imaginary, and like insane comparison to make it to Dante's Inferno, I know. But he does that thing where it's a self-insert, and some of it is like he's like, this is my neighbor, and some of it is like, in this
Aristotle.
fantasy of mine, this is
Yeah.
what this big thing would be. And I think that only Taylor could answer, and it doesn't really matter, but it's fun that she's inserting herself and then building a world in some ways
Yeah.
that it feels a little 50-50, a little bit true, a little bit fantasy in some ways. And that's fun and also very normal, especially for a teenager, but for anyone.
Are we hinting at your purpose, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I love the song. It's an OG. I love it. I will always love it. I do think it's sweet. It's a fun song that makes you just feel kind of young and innocent again. But I do think the purpose of the song, for me, as we go through it, is sort of, I think it does to me feel like taking a kernel of truth and then writing the story you want that truth to be. And not that it's wrong or incorrect or completely fake, but saying perhaps here's a sweet moment I had, and here's how I would love for that to flourish into something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he said a couple of these things. She does both sometimes, where she takes a moment and expands it, or she like creates a narrative. And I think this one could be either. So my purpose is I don't really know. I think it's teenage love and fantasy in a very sweet way. And I don't know if we have to overcomplicate it, but
Yeah.
it could be he said something really sweet in the car, and I want to sit in that moment and dive into it and really like expand as much as I can. Or he said a sweet moment in the car and I want to create a whole long story out of it. It kind of does both, which is not what I necessarily expected. I do still think at the end of the day, it's just a really sweet teen love song, and I don't think it has to be a lot more than that. But
Yeah.
it's fun to think about how she's exploring the nooks and crannies of this and how she's creating that sense of sweetness and teenage love and innocence in a lot of ways that have developed, but she's always believed in love, and that's really cute.
Yeah, maybe
I
like
love that.
capturing that moment of inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree. The only thing I'll add is I think the purpose of calling it our song and the way the framing and the narrative of the song is for her to articulate that she is holding the pen. So this is from her debut album. She is, until this point, has been a songwriter. This is her first time being the singer-songwriter in her first album. She, in the Taylor Swift lore, they wanted her to just be a songwriter and not be a singer and have her own album until she was 18. And so here she is able to have this song that is a teenage love song about a romance, whether it happened, whether it's the way she wants it to happen, doesn't matter. But she is showing very clearly, this is our song and I am holding the pen writing the song. And not only am I writing it, I am also part of it. So I think this is her articulating that she is not just the participant and the person in the relationship. She is authoring the relationship, and she is also authoring the song, not just singing it. And there's something there about being the narrator and the character, the writer and the character, that I think this early in her discography is really important to cement her as a singer-songwriter.
And doing it better than anyone else. The idea that
And doing
no
it,
other song
nothing's
could
as good
do
as
it
our
justice.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah. The confidence.
And we call it debut album because it's self-titled, so it's weird to say it. But I think as you were talking, it was really hitting me of like, yeah, and this song isn't on an album titled Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She is
Exactly.
stamping her name and herself.
There's
so
no
much in this.
mistaking who is the writer, who is the character, who is the singer, who is front and center and has her name literally all over this album. And this song, I think in particular, unlike Tim McGraw, which had the name of another famous singer, which could very easily be a little confusing. I want
But
that
she
Tim
was
McGraw
still
song.
holding the pen in that one
She
too.
still
to be clear.
held the
She was
pen,
still
but
the one
here
writing
she's
songs, but
saying,
yes.
this is our song.
Yeah.
Not yet my song, our song. So she still has somebody else as part of it.
Yeah.
But she says, I grabbed a pen and an old napkin and I wrote down our song. So that agency here is really important.
Very much agree with everything both of you said. I love your framing, Jody, of her holding the pen being the key thing. I'm in the process of writing my thesis right now, and so I'm very much thinking in thesis structures. But I feel like if I had to give Taylor Swift, the debut album, a thesis, it was really about her showcasing what she's all about, and that she believes that she's the best dang songwriter that our generation will ever experience, and is putting it out there into the universe to manifest that and make it happen. We talk about this and a lot more on our debut deep dive for our after school series, so I don't want to steal the thunder there. I rather want to point to that because I think it's a more holistic view of the whole album. But I feel like if every song in the album were to ladder up to one thesis, she does that so well here by making sure that this song, which was a great choice for a single, it's so musically fun. It gets in your head. It's an earworm. It was country, but it was poppy. Also, it became a part of the pop culture. So she picks a great song that's good by itself, but it does that job of reinforcing that she's a songwriter, she's a singer, she's one of the best ones out there, and she's going to write stuff that is better than anything else, and it's something that she loves. And when the inspiration strikes, she can do it. Like she's inspired by things in her life. She's communicating all of that through this song in such a fun bubble wrap kind of way. And so that to me is just so impressive that she was focused about which songs she chose to put on this album with that thesis in mind, and the fact that she chose to make this a single.
It also, I can't believe I did not think of this until now. It's our song, and I think of Elton John, Your Song, which is also a writer self-inserting, because Elton John is like, my gift is my song, and this one's for you. And he has a verse of, I sat on the roof and kicked off the moss. Well, a few of these verses, well, they got me quite cross. So it is again that.
So right.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of it until now. But she doesn't name drop him, but it does seem like she is maybe again referencing a great, putting herself in conversations with a great, taking inspiration from one of the greats, perhaps.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love that. Yeah.
So Monzi loves it. Jody likes it. And I will remember moving forward, Jody, that you only
I just haven't processed it as
my
much as
input.
Monzi has.
Well, also because
That
I
clearly
love that
struck
song.
her more than it struck me, and I will get there.
Well, because I think I
love Elton John.
I love Your Song as just as a song, but I think there's something there to the idea of like writing something dedicated to somebody else and immortalizing the love. I think
and writing about the fact that it was your writing process and you were writing it down as you're singing about the lyrics that you were writing.
John's thing is you can tell everybody this is your song, and he's like gifted it to her, and she gifted it to whoever he has written it for. And in this situation, she is doing the kind of same thing. Like she's struck by a really similar inspiration, and she's like, nothing is going to be as good as our song, and I'm just going to write it down. I do think it's interesting that she chose to do ours rather than yours.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She
still made it her own.
I think that's because that's putting her as part of it. And I think as a debut album, I think she needed to be part of it. If it's your song, that could be interpreted as you wrote it. It's not mine, it's yours. And ours means I am part of it. I am inserting myself here as well.
Yeah. We know she cares
also,
about ownership.
Also, like that Monty caught herself out on a heteronormative moment because it was Elton John.
I did. I was like,
never mind.
I
just really enjoyed that for her. Well,
I love that song, so I, of course, assume it's about me.
Yeah. No, we can make it our own song, but it was just really funny to me. Like, I saw your thought process.
We saw the wheels turning.
It was awesome.
It happened quick. It was fine.
Yeah, it did. No, you caught yourself.
You told me it's about me. You guys don't think that? You don't think it's about you? I think it's about me. I'm a girl.
I'm a Leo. Everything's about me.
Right.
It was a zero shame moment. It was something I would have done, but I just saw the moment in your head be like, Elton John wrote this, and you're like,
or whoever he wrote it for.
Well, that is all we have on our song. It's ours now. Join us next week as we deep dive and overanalyze more Taylor Swift songs. That's all we have for you today on EP Taylor Swift.
Be sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. Follow us across socials at AP Taylor Swift. Stay up to date.
Join us next time as we overanalyze the next Taylor Swift song on AP Taylor Swift.